Hey everyone, Tim here from Simulated Aviation. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Long EZ by IndiaFoxtEcho. The Long EZ is currently available on Orbxdirect for $17 US. This aircraft is a tandem two-seater home-built aircraft designed by Burt Rutan's Rutan Aircraft Factory. The Long EZ first flew in 1979 and was only just a kit plane. The internal and external models are both incredibly detailed, which makes flying this aircraft a pleasure to fly. The Long EZ even comes with 4 aircraft liveries and 8K textures. Now, as we take a look at this aircraft, it's important to note that the SDK is not quite ready for these third-party developers to be creating extremely detailed flight models. IndiaFoxtEcho says as the SDK develops, so will this aircraft. They have released it as is with what they can do, and as the SDK develops, they will continue to improve the flight model and handling of this aircraft. And as things develop with the SDK, I'm sure we can see plenty more aircraft being developed in the near future. So let's dive right into it and take to the virtual skies with the IndiaFoxtEcho Long EZ. Alright, so here we go. We are now in the cockpit of the Long EZ, and I chose to go with the Thunderbird paint scheme for this flight, as I come from a background of formation flying, and I figured that would fit. Something really cool about the Long EZ right off the bat, the canopy does open and close. I know this might not be a huge thing to most people, but with Flight Simulator, you can't really open most cockpits, or doors, or windows, so having this feature is a nice addition. Go ahead and close that. Now, looking at the pit here, like I said, the aircraft is extremely detailed inside and out. I mean, look at those PBR textures, just absolutely gorgeous. But I mean, just looking around the pit here, everything is just extremely detailed. Everything works. We've got your light switches, your panel lights, all that good stuff. Got a compass, GPS, no autopilot, unfortunately. But what do you expect in an experimental aircraft? Up top, we've got our battery, alternator, pump switch, and avionic master to turn on and off our avionics. Got our altimeter, artificial horizon, altitude, rudder trim, another compass, and our vertical speed. Below that, we've got the key to turn on and off the aircraft, an oil temperature and pressure gauge. Now, this aircraft doesn't come with flaps, so we've got our mixture, our carburetor heat, our throttle, and below that we've got our speed brake lever. Now, you're going to want to have this set up, as it does take a little bit to get this aircraft to slow down. And of course, you've got a trim for your elevator pitch here. Down on the floor, we've got the fuel tank selector and the landing gear lever. I really like the landing gear lever as it cranks. You have to crank the landing gear in order to retract and extend it, which is really cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do off brakes and get rolling. Alright, brakes are off, and here we go, run them up. Now you'll notice that it takes a little bit to get this aircraft rolling and off the ground, but once you're going, you're going. Top speed ends up being around 160, 150 knots, unless you're in a dive, of course. And something that I forgot to mention is that the turn radius on the ground is absolutely exceptional. Left rudder, right rudder, you'll be able to turn around in the tightest of spots with this aircraft. So here we go, we're going to do a little back pressure on the stick. Once again, no flaps. Alright, so now that we're in the air, let's go ahead and retract the landing gear. How cool is that? And if you'll notice down there, we actually have a window and we can see the outside world and if our gear has been retracted or extended there. If you look down there, you can actually see what's below us, which is awesome. So right off the bat, this is a very solid aircraft to fly. Even with a little bit of wind, it feels like a luxury vehicle. You know, it cuts through the air with ease. Wow, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go ahead and do a right turn here. Like I said, the controls are heavier on this aircraft, but I think that makes for a more enjoyable flight experience because it makes the aircraft less jittery. and just it feels like you're in control more with this aircraft. I'm really excited to see what happens as the SDK develops. So let's go ahead and level out. And no problem. The GPS does work with no issue. Like I said, there is no autopilot, but that's okay. On the canopy here, you'll be able to see all these scratches and all these fine details that they put into this aircraft to really make it what it is. Even the stitching on the seats are incredible. So I'm just going to turn us around here quickly and let's see how she does in a stall. We're just going to roll out. We're going to pull straight up and see what happens. Once again, heavy on the controls, so doing this feels very smooth. You'll hear the engine start to spool down there. The RPMs are decreasing as we're losing speed. And I'd say that fell out of the sky pretty realistically. That felt pretty good, and I've never flown one of these in real life, or really many planes in real life, because I'm not a real pilot, but it felt pretty good. Go ahead and do an aileron roll, see how it performs here. Full left stick, kind of slow, but you can do a little up, a little down stick there, keep it up in the air. As you go through that, no problem. Try out the rudder here, it's just stay straight and level. And it's got a lot of rudder control, I'd say. Let's go back left, put some right stick into it so we stay level here. And yeah, it's working pretty well. Whoop. Zoomed into the airport there. Try to do a knife edge, which I don't think we'll be able to do on flight sim for a while, but it didn't really hold it. We tried though. Every time I look over the wing, it's just a great experience to see the level of detail in this aircraft. Just makes for a really enjoyable experience. So I'm just going to bring her in for a landing here. So I'm going to do a naval brake to land, which I probably shouldn't be doing, but it's okay. Ooh, 10-degree nose up, left turn. We'll get on downwind here. Power's coming back. Let's drop that gear since we don't go that fast anyway. And once again, we don't have flaps, so we should be utilizing that speed brake. Put it down to 66%, see how that does. Start using the trim to help out with landing here. And like I said, once you get going with this aircraft, it really is like a dart. So you'll want to use those speed brakes for sure. Alright, let's bring the power back a bit more here as we approach for final. I know this is a very cut off approach, but it's okay. Alright, so we're rolling out. We are going to land on the back two gear. And we're down, going idle. Oh, now we're down. And the nose wheel will actually hang in the air for a minute unless you apply brakes or push down the nose a little bit. That's what I did there. I just pushed the nose down to get her on the ground. Let's go ahead and apply some brakes. And look at that, stops in no time. Now, like I said, great turning radius on this aircraft, which I'll show you right now. We'll go ahead and add some right rudder, full right rudder, boom, look at that. Turns on a dime. Overall, we absolutely love the Long EZ by IndiaFoxtEcho, and for $17 US, I definitely think this is worth a buy. Let us know what your thoughts are on the Long EZ in the comments below, and consider leaving a like and subscribing to stay up to date on future videos. We'll see you in the virtual skies.
And you know that we'll never say never if we ever get the chance. And it's good to be alive.